Alright, so today I'm going to talk about Anuloma, Pranayama. So Anu is along with, Loma is the natural order. So Anuloma is along with the natural order of breathing, and it's real easy. It's broken down into 8 stages, and each one is broken down into 2 sub-stages, where A is pretty much just inhaling and then controlling the outflow of breath with your hand, making it smooth and even through both nostrils, right? And then the second part of each one of the stages is inhaling and then constricting one of the nostrils completely and exhaling and then releasing and then inhaling and then doing the other side and releasing. So it's a very simple breathing technique, uses ujjayi breath the whole time. And since it's such an easy breathing technique, so I'm going to talk a little bit about how to place the hand on the nose, which is important when doing these types of exercises, and including what pretty much is taught in most yoga studios, which is alternate nostril breathing and nadi shodhana, right? So the first thing is obviously how to have your hand. So the first and middle finger are tucked into the palm, and the thumb controls the right nostril. The ring finger controls the left nostril, and this is always done with the right hand. And that's just an old, ancient India technique where the left hand is considered sinister, so they don't really do anything with the left hand, but the right hand is the kind of the trustworthy hand. It's the hand that you make business deals with, things like that. So we're doing this with the right hand. The next thing is you're gonna control, especially for the first part, is you're controlling the outflow of the breath. So you need to be able to learn how to place pressure on your nose and make the outer edges of the nostrils parallel with the inner edges of the nostrils to make it smooth and even throughout both nostrils, right? So that's what we're going to be doing, and you're going to spend a lot of time really doing that. And he makes an analogy to a musician learning how to play their instrument, right? As each instrument's a little bit different and gets a little bit different sound, and just like my nose is very different than anybody else's nose, and particularly not just because I have different DNA structure than everybody else, but my nose has been broken multiple times. I can't even count how many times it's been broken, and I've even had surgery to correct the breakages on one point. Your nose is going to be different than mine, so you're going to have to learn, and you're going to get the nuances. And not only is it different, but it's going to different from a physical basis. It's going to be different based on how you slept last night, what your diet, and you're going to learn that, which is the great thing about doing pranayama, is you're going to be like, oh well, I have a lot of dairy, so I'm a little bit clogged up. But that's what dairy does to me, and that's what I've learned from doing pranayama, is that dairy, when I don't eat a lot of dairy, is I'm much clearer through my nasal passages. When I eat a lot of dairy, is it's much more blocked up. So those are great things that you can learn, and adjust your breathing technique based on the day to ensure the slow and even distribution of air throughout your nose. Okay. Some of the other things is make it fun, make it enjoyable, make it something that you can do for a long time. You don't dread doing it, which is important things with all aspects of yoga. The exhalation is slightly longer than the inhalation, and that's something to kind of calm down the central nervous system, the parasympathetic nervous system in particular. And there's he doesn't really mention into that one because he comes from an Eastern medicine perspective. But if you want a kind of a Western medicine perspective of that, is read Bo Forbes, and she has a great description of the different breathing patterns and how they affect the emotions. Okay, and then maybe the last thing that I'll talk about is the kind of maybe the strength of ujjayi breathing, right? Is we're using ujjayi breath, and he says in here that loud breathing, it really fosters the ego and it really builds the ego. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to not do that. So we have an inaudible breathing, or it's not loud enough for other people to hear. Now during the videos, I'm gonna make it audible so you can get with me on the rhythm that I'm doing. But your practice should work on being inaudible, and he says that builds humility. Okay, so with all those techniques taken into account, go ahead and watch the different videos, and have fun doing this, and it's something you can do not just in the morning. It's something you can do throughout the day if you want to. If you want to take a break from work or get home in the afternoon and do it, it's a great time to do that as well. All right. So have a great time doing this, and I hope you have fun. All right. Bye.